All right, let's take a look at the practice test. So for the instructions, we're asked to find the distance between z and w. These are two complex numbers that are going to be plotted on the complex plane. So for problem 1, you see that we're given a complex plane. So the horizontal axis is labeled as the real axis, and the vertical axis is labeled as the imaginary axis. Remember that a complex number is of the form a, which is the real part, plus b, which is the imaginary part, times I, the imaginary unit. So looking at this guy, if I think about my complex number z, well, the real part is 5, and the imaginary part is going to be 4. So let's say that z is equal to 5, again, that's the real part, plus 4, that's the imaginary part, times I, the imaginary unit. Then if I look at this complex number w, well, the real part is going to be 8, and the imaginary part is also going to be 8. So this, for w, would be 8 plus 8i. Okay, so how do we find the distance between these 2 points? So of course, we could create a right triangle. Okay, so this is my right triangle, and the length of the hypotenuse here is what I need to figure out. That's going to be the distance between these two complex numbers on the complex plane. So you can think about the length of this and the length of this, very easy to find. This guy is 8, and this guy is 5, so you would do 8 minus 5 to give yourself 3. You would have an 8 and you would have a 4, so 8 minus 4 would be 4. Most of you can see immediately that this is a 3, 4, 5 right triangle. But again, you can always use the Pythagorean theorem to solve. So you can say a squared plus b squared equals c squared, where c is the hypotenuse. So let's say that this is 3 squared plus 4 squared, so those are known. Let's pretend you didn't know this one. So let's say this is equal to c squared. So this is 9 and this is 16. 9 plus 16 is 25. And so basically you just take the square root of each side. And so you'd have c is equal to the principal square root of 25, which equals 5. Don't use the negative square root here because we're talking about a length, right? So that's going to be non-negative. So let's go ahead and say that the distance between these 2 points is going to be equal to 5. Now, of course, we don't want to draw a right triangle each time. So what we're going to do is modify our distance formula that basically makes this process very, very simple to work on the complex plane. So let me move this down just a little bit. I'm going to label this as a sub 1. I'm going to label this as b sub 1. I'm going to label this as a sub 2. And I'm going to label this as b sub 2. And of course, you could have switched that order up. It's not going to matter. So let's say the distance is equal to the square root of, instead of x sub 2 minus x sub 1 quantity squared, I'm now going to do a sub 2 minus a sub 1 quantity squared. And then plus, instead of y sub 2 minus y sub 1 quantity squared, I'm going to go b sub 2 minus b sub 1 quantity squared. So we're going to plug in and we're going to get 5 once we simplify everything. So a sub 2, we said that was 8. And then a sub 1, we said that was 5. And then for b sub 2, we said that was 8. And then for b sub 1, we said that was 4. So simplifying, 8 minus 5 is 3, so this is 3 squared or 9. And then 8 minus 4 is 4, so 4 squared is 16. So we know that 9 plus 16 is 25, and the square root of 25 is going to be 5. So a much quicker way to get this. But again, you want to understand the concept and where these things are coming from. So you're just modifying your distance formula to work on the complex plane. All right, let's take a look at problem 2. So here we have the complex number z and also the complex number w plotted on the complex plane. So for z, the real part is -3 and the imaginary part is 4. So let's say that z is equal to -3 plus 4i. Then for w, the real part is going to be 5 and the imaginary part is going to be 6. So we'll say this is 5 plus 6i. Again, this is following the format of a plus bi. Okay, so a is the real part, b is the imaginary part. So what I'm going to do is just label one of these guys as a sub 1 being here and then b sub 1 being here. And then the other will be a sub 2 and then b sub 2 here. Okay, so don't worry about the imaginary unit I. You're not going to involve it here. You're going to say the distance between these 2 points on the complex plane is the square root of. Again, it's a sub 2 minus a sub 1 quantity squared, and then plus, you're going to have b sub 2 minus b sub 1 quantity squared. So you just need to work with this a few times. It's very easy to remember, especially if you have the regular distance formula memorized. So that one is the distance is equal to the square root of x sub 2 minus x sub 1 quantity squared plus y sub 2 minus y sub 1 quantity squared. So we're just going to plug in So a sub 2 is 5. And then a sub 1 is negative 3. So minus a negative 3 is plus 3. And then for b sub 2, that's going to be 6. For b sub 1, that's going to be 4. So 5 plus 3 is going to be 8. 8 squared is going to be 64. Let's put that in there. And then 6 minus 4 is 2. 2 squared is 4. So we know that 64 plus 4 is 68. And instead of writing 68, let me write 17 times 4, because 4 is a perfect square. So the square root of 4 would be 2. So our final answer here would be 2 times the square root of 17 for the distance between these 2 points on the complex plane. All right, let's take a look at problem 3. So here we have z, our complex number that has a real part of negative 6, and then an imaginary part that's also negative 6. So z is equal to negative 6, and then minus 6i. And then for w, this is equal to what? Well, the real part is negative 1, and the imaginary part is going to be 6. So let's say negative 1 plus 6i. Okay, so we're going to label one of these, and I'll just pick this one, as a sub 1, and then this will be b sub 1. Let me go plus negative to make that crystal clear. And then the other one would be a sub 2, and then this part right here would be b sub 2. Again, don't worry about involving the imaginary unit I. You don't need it here. So the distance is equal to the square root of, we're going to have the a sub 2 minus a sub 1 quantity squared, and then plus b sub 2 minus b sub 1 quantity squared. So a sub 2 is negative 1, and then a sub 1 is going to be negative 6. So again, minus a negative 6 is plus 6, and then b sub 2 is 6, and then b sub 1 is negative 6, minus a negative 6 is plus 6. So negative 1 plus 6 is going to be 5. 5 squared is 25. And then here, 6 plus 6 is going to be 12. 12 squared is going to be 144. So 25 plus 144 is going to be 169. So the distance is equal to the square root of 169, which is 13. So a lot of you would have noticed that this is a 5, 12, 13 right triangle. Thought I'd just draw it real quick. So this is negative 6 and this is negative 1. So the length here is 5. Then up here, this is 6. And then this down here is going to be negative 6. So this right here would be 12 for the length of that side. So this is a 5, 12, 13 right triangle. Sometimes you can recognize that stuff right away and just answer without doing any labeling. So always take advantage of that if you can. It speeds up the process. All right, for the next few problems, the instructions are going to change. Now we want to find the midpoint of this line segment ZW. So coming down here to problem 4, we can see that Z is equal to, so the real part is 6 and the imaginary part is 3. So let's say 6 plus 3i. I'm going to go ahead and label this now. So I'm going to call this a sub 1 and I'm going to call this b sub 1. And then for W, the real part is going to be negative 1 and the imaginary part is 0. So I'm on the real axis. So this is going to be negative 1. Let's go plus 0i. And so I'll call this a sub 2. Let me make that a little bit better there. And maybe I can make that better. And I'll call this b sub 2. Okay, so if you want to do it this way, you could say the midpoint is equal to, remember, normally it's the average of the x values, so x sub 1 plus x sub 2 over 2, and then comma, the average of the y values, so y sub 1 plus y sub 2 over 2. Here, you're basically doing the same thing, but it's just the average of the real parts. So I'm going to go a sub 1 plus a sub 2 over 2, and then comma, the average of the imaginary parts. So let's say b sub 1 plus b sub 2, and then over 2. Okay, so you're just going to plug into this. So here, this is 6 and this is negative 1. So 6 plus negative 1, let's just do that now. That's going to be 5, so this is 5 over 2. And then for this one, this is 3 for b sub 1, and this is 0. 3 plus 0 is obviously 3, so this is just 3 halves. So what does this tell me? If I want to write this as a complex number, well, basically I'm going to say that this is 5 halves for the a value, and then plus 3 halves for the b value, and then times I, the imaginary unit. So this right here would represent the midpoint of this line segment. So we could go, 5 halves is 2.5, so let's just go ahead and say that's about right there. So 2.5 on the real axis, and then 3 halves, that's 1.5. So let's say that's going to be about right there on the imaginary axis. So I'm going to go here and then up here. So let's say that guy right there. So let me label that and say this is 5 halves plus 3 halves I. So that would be the midpoint for the line segment ZW. All right, let's take a look at problem 5. So here we are given a Z that's going to be equal to, the real part is 2 and the imaginary part is 6. So this is 2 plus 6i. Let me just label this as a sub 1 and this as b sub 1. And then for W, this is equal to what? The real part is negative 4 and the imaginary part is also negative 4. So this is negative 4 minus 4i. Maybe we'll just go plus negative here to make it a little bit easier. So we'll say this is a sub 2 and this is b sub 2. So just plug into that formula. So the midpoint is equal to, it's a sub 1 plus a sub 2 over 2. So we can write that out if you want. A sub 1 plus a sub 2 over 2, and then comma, it's going to be b sub 1 plus b sub 2 over 2. So this is the formula. And so a sub 1 plus a sub 2, you have 2 plus negative 4. That's going to be negative 2, and then negative 2 divided by 2 is negative 1. So this is negative 1. So that's going to be the real part. And then b sub 1 plus b sub 2, this is going to be 6 plus negative 4, that's 2. And 2 divided by 2 is 1, so that's going to be your imaginary part. So to put this as a complex number, I would go negative 1. So negative 1 plus 1i, or just I, if you want to do that. So looking at this guy, if I want to plot it, from the origin, I'm going to go 1 unit to the left, and then I'm going to go 1 unit up. So that right there. Let me go ahead and do this like this. So that would be your midpoint. So this is negative 1 plus 1i, or let's just write it as negative 1 plus I.